Are you after a sturdy wallet that can take a hyper beam, look cute like a Gardevoir, and be slim like a Sudowoodo? Well, I got you covered. Introducing the Ridge Wallet. A slim, sexy way to carry around your cards and cash. I've used the Ridge Wallet for over 69 years now. The Ridge Wallet comes in a variety of styles to suit your everyday needs. These are some of the wallet styles I like the best, like the carbon fiber, the titanium, the gold. Really nice, cool designs to make you stand out. They also have some neat products to complement your wallet, like a bottle opener, pens, backpacks, charging, knives, you name it. You can get 10% off your purchase today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/PIMPNITE. Yes, that's right, ridge.com/PIMPNITE, and use code PIMPNITE. Link in the description of the video. Cheers, Ridge, for the channel sponsor. What's up, issue? For today's video, with a full overpowered baby Pokemon team. I'll be specifically looking at HP, and I'll be looking at 3-stage evolution Pokemon like Rowlet. Can you think of it on the spot right now? The highest health baby Pokemon. I wonder if you can guess. Anyway, people, let's get into this video. We got 3 battles today with this team, and it was a fair lot of fun. Now, this team actually has quite a few very thick Pokemon, and I'll put them to good use here. Now, my opponent, really don't know what their trainer name says. Maybe someone in the comment section can translate that. And this is a battle on the Wycombe. And, of course, we've got a Zacian as the very first lead. I've never, ever seen one of these in my life. They're so rare. Oh, it's shiny too. So my first Pokemon here is going to be Igglybuff. Now, we got a Draining Kiss, Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, and Counter set. Now, this is going to be max special attack and max speed. I've got the item as Focus Sash, and I'm going to go for a counter because I knew that Zacian would go for, any sort of physical move would absolutely destroy me. So they went for the Behemoth Blade there. I got that Focus Sash kicking in nicely, and now we're going to take the Zacian out here with a counter. Man, that felt very, very good. So the bye-bye Zacian, absolutely wonderful. They're taking that out at the start of the game. Now, I actually had a couple of battles where the opponent DC'd when they had really powerful Pokemon, and Igglybuff just, came in and one-shot them, but this wasn't the case. So next Pokemon here is going to be Runerigus. I've got Shadow Ball, yep. And I thought, well, I may as well go for it. I've got Modest Nature and Max Speed. So I popped the Shadow Ball. I outsped. I was like, okay, this must be like a Trick Room Runerigus. Not that Runerigus is very fast anyway. I'm going to get some really, really good damage there, and it's going to be taking me out with the Earthquake. But, man, Wigglytuff did a solid there. Took out the Zacian and almost did half of, Runerigus' health there. So Runerigus is going to have the leftovers as the item too. Now, my next Pokemon I'm going to bring in here is going to be Whisma. So Whisma has got 64 health. So I put all the health stats in there as well. We've got Hyper Voice, Fire Blast, and Blizzard, and Extra Sentry. Don't ask me what's going on there with Whisma's butt, but it happens, all right? So we're going to be going for a Blizzard, and Blizzard obviously is not going to land because Runerigus went for a Protect, so it's going to get some leftovers recovery. I'm like, oh, I don't know whether this is actually going to take it out. So I've got max health, of course, and I've got max special attack, Modest Nature, and I whacked on a choice specs. My ability is going to be soundproof. So we got a double protect here. They're trying to live rent-free in my head like Blissey. And I got 2 Blizzards there, and they're going to obviously both get protected. Third Blizzard is going to land, and guess what? Runerigus is going to get ruined. So that's absolutely wonderful there. I took that out in one shot. I was a little bit worried it wasn't going to take me. I thought it might miss. So that's the end of that. Next Pokemon is going to be Heatran. Now, Heatran is going to be very scary here because it's going to go for a Flamethrower, and I was like, well, maybe Whisma can live this, and then I was like, well, maybe not. So that's the end of Whisma, but it did a solid performance there, taking out Runerigus. So I had a little idea here. We're going to be going into Spheal, so we've got 70 health on Spheal. So we've got a Belly Drum, Waterfall, Earthquake, and Rock Slide set. I was really, really thinking about going for Earthquake. Yeah, I thought there'd be a great surprise KO. And I was like, well, maybe it's got Shuka Berry. Or I could maybe go for a Belly Drum because I do have the Thick Fat as my ability. Heatran's going to swap there, and in comes Zapdos Galar. So I was like, okay, well, I got a Belly Drum on the swap. Now, the EV spread for this is max health, of course, and max attack. So this thing is going to be a bulky physical attacker item. It's going to be the Quick Claw. So got the Quick Claw there, baby. Going for that Waterfall there, and that is going to be the end of the Zapdos. That was excellent. Very, very lucky, though. I'm sure it was going for something, I don't know, Thunderous Kick or any fighting type move. Karate Chop, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Heatran here. I was like, okay, I'm going to go for the Earthquake. They've gone for a Desperation Dynamax here. I was like, oh, this is good. I wasn't really sure if I was going to live, though. I mean, it was coming for a Heatran, but I was thinking, right, I have got Max Health, and I've got Thick Fat, but if they go for a Fire-type move here, like there's a minute chance that I might live, but any other move outside that, I'm absolutely going to get destroyed. I didn't get it quicker here, unfortunately. Now Heatran's going to go for a Max Flare on my little Sphere, and guess what? I lived on 2 health, so they're going to have to Sphere with it because I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. Now, Earthquake is 4 times, right? No Shuka Berry, no scum like that, and Heatran goes down in 1 shot to a Sphere. I was like, man, this Sphere is popping off. So that's the end of that. That's 4 Pokemon down right now. I'm sitting pretty with only, 2 Pokemon out of the game. We got 4 left. Next Pokemon is going to be Slowbro. I was like, man, I might be able to outspeed this, but Slowbro is going to be Fast Bro, and that's going to take out my Sphere. But man, what a quality performance there by Sphere, mate. Man, that's going to deserve a like right there. Next Pokemon I'm going to bring in is going to be Happity. I was pretty happy with this matchup. Now I've got Defense Girl, Seismic Toss, Rest, and Toxic. Of course, I've got Max Health being this team, and I've got Max Defense. Now, I thought it'd be a good idea to get Toxic on this thing in case it started to set up like Calm Mind and stuff like that. However, it's going to go for a Side Shock, and since I'm running Max Health and Max Defense, Happity actually takes it reasonably well. My item, of course, there is going to be a Everlight, and we got the ability Natural Cure. Now, Natural Cure actually works really, really well with Rest. Unfortunately for me, Slowbro is going to have a Lumberry, so it's going to cure that poison right away and hit me with another Side Shock here. It's like, okay, do I go for the Toxic or do I go for Seismic Toss? In the end, I went for Seismic Toss because, Slowbro on the moon and stuff like that. But I didn't want to miss Toxic, you know what I mean? Because it could have happened, and I'd rather get some damage off than none. So that's the end of Happity there. So now things are starting to get a little bit more serious now. Like, what am I going to do to try and get around this? So, okay, I've got a plan. I need to execute it. So I've got Rowlet here. Rowlet's going to be my next Pokemon. Also, the sun has gone from the Heatran's Max Flare earlier on. So we got 68 health on Rowlet. I wish it was 69. It would have been amazing. We got Nasty Plot, Energy Ball, Brave Bird, and Echo Voice. It's a special sweeping set. So you're probably wondering why I've got Brave Bird on there. That is purely for Dynamax because it doesn't get any special flying moves at all. So that was my way to boost its speed. So we're outspeeding Slowbro, which really didn't take all that much effort. And now it's going to go for an Ice Beam. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. I've got a Focus Sash. Now my EV spread is going to be Max Speed, Max Special Attack, and I've got Tip of Nature. I've got Focus Sash and Overgrow, which works really, really well. And I thought, well, I can go Dynamax here. My last Pokemon doesn't really do all that great in Dynamax. You'll get to see it throughout the course of this battle. And this is going to be much better. So go for Dynamax Rowlet here. Obviously, I wasn't going to go for a Max Airstream. That was definitely not going to take Slowbro out. So I was a little bit worried about the power on this move. Probably not for Slowbro, but maybe for the next Pokemon. So I've got Overgrow and I've got a Nasty Plot going here. And now I'm going to go for Max Overgrowth on Slowbro. So like, okay, this should take it out. It definitely should. And that is going to be the end of Slowbro. Now the grassy terrain is going to be put on the field too. And Rowlet is in a very, very powerful position right now. So Slowbro is going to be going down. Overgrow is very, very powerful. So you get Overgrow, grassy terrain, and the Nasty Plot. I mean, Rowlet's dodgy special attack is going to be pretty powerful. Next Pokemon is going to be Stack Attacker there. And I've got to ask people a question. This is a real question. Have you ever stepped on Lego in your life? It absolutely hurts, like really, really hurts. One time, like, I did this really mean thing, right? I focused on Stack Attacker, by the way. I put Lego in someone's slippers. Like, that had to be the worst thing ever, right? Have you ever done that to someone? I was like, 2 years old. So anyway, into the battle here. It's going to go for a Trick Room. I was like, oh, that really, really sucks. So now Stack Attacker is going to be able to outspeed me, and it's going to go for a Gyro Ball. So that's the end of the Rowlet. I wasn't expecting, Focus Sash on Stack Attacker, but, stranger things have happened on PIMPNITE's channel, people. So that's the end of that. I've got one more Pokemon left, and the Stack Attacker is going to get a Beast Boost in attack too. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be hitting very, very hard. Last Pokemon we got is Timber. I cut a tree down and I'm yelling, it's Timber, it's going down. So we've got Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Payback, and Mach Punch. I was like, man, I'm so lucky I've got Mach Punch here right now because it's the only move I can actually even use, right? So go for the Mach Punch. They're punching them golden Legos. And that, my friends, is the end of the first battle. What a win. And they baby bottled too. I was like, man, that was a really, really good battle. Why did he salty rage quit for? But anyway, people, I mean, the video's got to deserve a like after that, right? So let's get on to the battle number 2 here. This is a battle against Copmeister, and this was a crazy battle as well. Now, our first Pokemon here we got is going to be Fletching, and I've got my Whisma as the lead. So we've got a baby Pokemon matchup today. It's going to be going for a overeat on the Whisma. Whisma's pretty thick, you got to see that. And now what I can do is I can go for the Blizzard. I was a little bit scared that it would miss, but it actually landed, which is really, really cool. That's going to be the end of Fletching. I thought it might have like a scumbag Focus Sash, but it didn't. So giving me a nice little early lead there. Next Pokemon is going to be the mighty Psyduck, and it's going to be a nice shade of blue too. It's sort of, I can't see it, it's blending in with the background. So it's going to have Cloud 69 here. I'm going to swap the Whisper out, and then I'm going to go into my next Pokemon, which is going to be Sphere. You just have to Sphere them, right? Now it's going to be going for a role play here, and role playing the Thick Fat. So it's now got Thick Fat. I can actually try and go for a Belly Drum here, but after seeing it going for a Brick Break, it's like, no, I can't actually do that. So Belly Drum is going to fail, and I'm actually sort of at a little bit of a loss here, because I've got to go for an Earthquake to try and get some damage. I did actually get Earthquake off there due to the Quick Claw, but man, it did nothing to this Psyduck. This Psyduck was thick, and it was also hitting me really, really hard. That's going to be the end of the little Sphere there. It did a pretty good job in the first battle, so in the second battle, it got absolutely dumpstered. Next battle is going to be the Rowlet. And we're going to be going for a Energy Ball here. I was half thinking of either going for Nasty Plot or Energy Ball. I thought that Psyduck may have a coverage move and may stay in, and I was a little bit worried about that. So Natu's going to come in here. I'm going for Energy Ball, and it does 3 damage. So it is what it is, people. I'm now going to swap out the Rowlet here, and I'm going to go into I was almost going to go into another Pokemon being my actual Happiny, but I decided to go into Timber there, which was an unusual swapping, but I do have payback to try and do that. Now it's going to be going for a Wish and Baton Pass. I was like, oh, okay, it's probably going to go back into Psyduck, right? And in comes the Psyduck. So I thought maybe I can set up on this Psyduck with some bulk up. So this Timber I didn't really get to use much the last battle. I mean, it did get a nice salty little baby bottle there at the end, but I feel like I didn't really get to use it much. So here we go. This is definitely the best set on my team, like by far. Like all the other sets are quite meme-ish compared to this. So I've got Max Health, of course, on this massively health, beautiful team. I can go for a Max Health, Max Special Defense set here. We got Sassy Nature, and I've got Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Payback, and Mac Punch. I've got the ability Iron Fist, and I've got the item Everlight. So it's a pretty good set there. It's very, very bulky and hits very, very hard. Drain Punch is going to heal it, and Payback is good coverage against like incoming ghost types, and Mac Punch gives it priority as well. Works very, very good around the board. So Psyduck's got Aerial Ace there. It's not doing a lot of damage yet because I've got my bulk ups going on here. Plus I'm healing myself out with Drain Punch too, which is good. Now I can actually land a pretty fierce payback on that Natu too. So that's what I was sort of thinking about there before. So bye-bye Psyduck. It was a pretty threatening Pokemon, you got to admit. Now the next Pokemon to come in is going to be Delibird there. It's got some gifts in its sack, you know what I mean? It's got a stocking stuffer. So go for the payback here on the Delibird. I outsped it. I'm like, what? And then it's got counter. You wouldn't read about it. But the problem is, right, I didn't do enough damage to Delibird with the payback to actually take it out in one move of the counter right there. So they went for a Disrespect Rapid Spin there. It's going to fail to KO. And now I'm going to go for a Mac Punch here and take out the Delibird. So bye-bye Delibird. I guess they didn't realize that I had Mac Punch until that moment. Next Pokemon is going to be the Natu. Now, I haven't seen any attacking moves from Natu at all. I just went for Mac Punch, so I thought it's going to outspeed me, right? And now it's going to go for Cosmic Power. I'm like, uh-oh. So I've seen Wish, Baton Pass, and Cosmic Power. Now I'm thinking to myself, is this a fully support set or does it have stored power? And my question was quickly answered. So that's going to be the end of the Timber, and the tree is going to fall over. It's more like a little log thing there. Imagine carrying a log around that all day. Like your biceps would just be like humongous, enormous, like bulging. So that's going to be into my Whisma as well. And this is actually looking pretty bad. I got to get rid of this Natu. It's actually quite a good counter. So going to Igglybuff now. I can tell you what, people, when you swap in an Igglybuff Max Special Attack and gets a Natu, and you're sort of low-key thinking about Dynamaxing, you know you've got problems, right? So swapping in there, go for a Shadow Ball. Excellent damage to Shadow Ball, really. Like, it really was excellent damage considering. And now it's like, you know what I can do? I'll go for Max Phantasmia, and try and take out this Natu. That'll obviously get rid of any, any bulkiness and any wish passes to the other Pokemon, right? That's what I was very, very scared of here, because I only had Rowlet left and one other Pokemon, and I wasn't really sure, they were going to be able to do that, So go for Dynamax Igglybuff here. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Dynamax Igglybuff before. Maybe you've seen it on PIMPNITE's channel before, but maybe you haven't. So Natu's going to go for a Baton Pass instead of attacking me. I'm like, oh, goody. So now it's going to be swapping out. And I'm assuming they're guessing what move I'm going to use, and they're going to swap in Spritzy. So like, okay, Spritzy. If this is a Everlight bulky set, it's going to be able to take this very well. And I looked at the damage, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So Igglybuff has now wasted one turn. Now, I did drop his defense, which was okay, but it wasn't really okay for my Igglybuff, because it's not like I've got any, physical moves apart from counter, which would be Max Knuckle, but, that's going to do monkeys anyway. So go for a Max, that was just a Max Strike there coming off, Hyper Voice. Now it's going to go for a Charge Beam here. It's getting charged up, and it's going to get a boost in special attack. So I have to do as much damage to this thing as possible. I don't know whether it's got any way of healing itself. I'm really hoping that it doesn't, because when you look at Natu and Spritzy, they're very, very bulky too. So this is my very last turn here of the Dynamax there. I actually have a Charge Beam miss, which is really, really good too. So that's the end of my Dynamax. That was my last turn before. So now I can go and opt to go for the Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice actually does okay damage, I guess. It's better than none. Here comes another Charge Beam. It's coming right out of its nose. It almost is a nose when you look at it. Spritzy, Nose Pass, and Promo Pass. They're almost nose Pokemon. We're going to go for a Hyper Voice here on the Spritzy, and I'm getting there, I'm getting there close to maybe a quarter health here. The Charge Beam, it looks like it's coming out of its bum. Anyway, so the Igglybuff is going to go down, and, Spritzy gets its 1000th special attack boost. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to bring in here, it's going to be the Happiny Rise. I'm not very happy with this matchup. So I'm going to be going for Seismic Toss here, first officially on the moon. I can take it out with two of them, because I knew it would probably just live one Seismic Toss. So here comes another Charge Beam here. Since I've got Everlight and this thing's got Max Health, it's not really going to do a lot of damage. Thank goodness, that would have probably started sweeping me on my team. So another Seismic Toss there, and Spritzy takes a permanent trip into space. It's a Space Spritzy. It has like a little astronaut helmet on it. Now, the next Pokemon is going to be Porygon. Now, I thought this might come into my Igglybuff before when I was going for those Max Phantasms. Now, the funny thing is here, this Porygon is a clean counter to my set. It's going to go for conversion, turning it into a Ghost type. So that means Seismic Toss won't affect it. And say I go for a Toxic Air, well, they can just swap it out and Natural Cure will heal it off. So that was a really, really, very, very fortunate counter there. So Porygon, I have no idea what it's going to use now. And now it's going to go for Tri-Attack. So I'm like, okay, Tri-Attack, I'll be able to take that, super, super easy. I'm very, very bulky. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a rest, get all that health heal back, and now I'm going to swap it out. So when I swap the Happiny out, it'll be awake again due to the Natural Cure. And, Porygon will start taking some Toxic damage, unless they want to swap it out too. So the funny thing is, Porygon's going to swap out. Natural Cure will cure that Toxic, and in comes the Natu here. So I actually withdraw as well, and now I'm going to go into Rowlet. So I thought, okay, what can I do to this little Natu? I could go for Brave Bird, but I don't want to do that. I'm thinking about getting some nasty plots up here, because I believe that Natu will try and get Cosmic Powers up to build the power of a stored power, because one stored power is going to do, 1 damage. So now Natu's going to go for a Wish here, which is fine. I believe that it's just going to be healing itself. I mean, Porygon hasn't sustained, too much damage at all, right? So I'm going to get 2 nasty plots up here, which is going to be very, very powerful. Now the Natu is going to keep going for Cosmic Powers here. So what I want to do is I want to actually go for Echoed Voice, because I thought Echoed Voice would be pretty good. Plus, I know my opponent hasn't gone for Dynamax yet, and I sort of low-key believe it's either going to... I actually thought it was going to be Porygon here, right? So I got some Echo Voice damage here. Excellent. Now Natu's going to go for a Stored Power. Now, Stored Power does very, very little damage to me. It's a 3-hit KO. Now, that really did force a Dynamax, because if Natu gets beaten by Echoed Voice and I outspeed Porygon, I'll be up to Echoed Voice number 3 or 4, probably 4, and it's going to be very, very powerful and take the Porygon out. So I'm assuming that's why they went for Dynamax. That was super weird with Natu's wings. Look like little heads. Anyway, we're going to go for Echoed Voice here. Excellent damage here. 3 minutes left of the battle too. Is quite a long one like something else. And here comes a Max Mindstorm, and that is going to be the end of the Rowlet there. Obviously, that didn't take stored powers, base power. It took off Max Mindstorm. which is going to be a lot more powerful than, obviously from the one. I think it was like one cosmic power. So that's going to, or one or two, Next Pokemon is going to be the Happiny. I was like, okay, well, I should be able to live these moves all right, but let's just see. So here comes Max Mindstorm, and I actually tanked that very, very well, I don't know how much EVs this has in special attack either. I believe it could be more of a bulky set, like Max Health and, split defenses. It could be more than that, but I don't think it's got like max special attack. Anyway, Natsu's back, max special attack isn't super amazing anyway. So that's going to be the end of Natsu's Dynamax here. Now they're going to go for a stored power. They've got the Psychic Terrain, but it's lacking the boost that it needs to do any damage. I'm living on 69 health there, and first Natsu on the moon, I believe. And the last Pokemon now is the Porygon. So like, okay, this is great. I know the only move it's got is going to be the Tri-Attack, but I know they're going to go for Conversion too to get around Psyduck. All I got to do is go for Toxic, and I won this, I can just go to sleep. So we got 58 seconds left of the battle here, and guess what happened, right? The Porygon went for a Tri-Attack here. Instead of going for Conversion, I lived on 40 health, and then I got frozen right as I was going for rest. I didn't get out of the freeze axe either, so we got right down to the timer there, and obviously I was going to lose. And there you go, people. I'm definitely not salty about that one at all. Thank you for the Battle Cop, Myson, and thank you for making me salty. Like, that was literally the only thing that could have happened for me to lose that battle, and it did, That's a funny thing about Pokemon. All right, our last battle here. This is against Mr. Guzzlord, and we have a pretty interesting team here as well. Now, we've got a 6 versus 4 team today, and the first Pokemon is going to be Malamar, and it's going to be called Squid Rings. Oh man, I like fresh squid, like not chewy squid, you know what I mean? Like actually, this is a question. It's a question on the video too. If you had to have a seafood, what would it be? Do you like fish, prawns, oysters, mussels? What other seafood is there? I don't know. There's probably some other seafood that I probably haven't had, but they're like sort of like the main ones, Of course, fish as well. Now, the next Pokemon here is going to be, because my Whisma got wrecked by liquidation, is going to be Igglybuff. So like, okay, this is prime opportunity to go for the counter. Now, Malamar's going to go for a Psycho Cut here. It's going to take me all the way down to my Focus Sash. Go for counter, and that is going to be the end of the Squid Rings. They got absolutely eaten, they just absolutely destroyed. There was a whole bowl of them and disappeared. I like the salt and pepper. I like salt and pepper squid. That's probably my favorite squid, to be honest. Now, the next Pokemon is going to be Inkay. It's like a full, little squid thing. Now, I'm going to go for a Draining Kiss here. You wouldn't read about it. I got lots of health back. Now, Inkay went for a Dank Pulse here. Since I've got that nice typing on Igglybuff, the fairy typing as well as the normal, I actually managed to live that, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to kiss that squid again there, and it's a nice, juicy 3-hit KO. And I'm going to get some more healing back. So, okay, obviously Dank Pulse was there, the best way to do any damage here. So they're going to have to go for a Calm Mind and then try and attack me again. But essentially, I've got all the advantage here because I've got a move that will heal me, and they've got a move that's not very effective, and I've got enough bulk to actually lift that. So go for a second one there, and the Calm Mind is not going to be enough to live that next attack there. So the Inkay is going to go down, and Igglybuff actually got around Malamar and Inkay, which is awesome. But the squids do not end there, people. The next Pokemon is going to be Malamar. It's going to go for a Super Power. It's a contrary set, and I was like, oh. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the best set on the team, right? So bye-bye Igglybuff. Now, I need to get around this thing. I have to get around this thing. So next Pokemon is going to be the Happiny. So now they're going to go for Throat Chop here. Now, I went for the Toxic just straight away because, I was scared of this thing. Very, very scared. I believe they went for Throat Chop too because Happiny can have counter as well. So maybe they thought I had another counter Pokemon. And instead of going for Superpower there, that would be very, very bad if I counted. Easily would have one-shot them. Now they're going to go for a Superpower here. That is definitely going to be in the Happiny. And now they've got quite a few boosts with the contrary. That this thing is actually quite threatening. The good thing is I do have the Toxic on it too, so it eventually is going to faint. But man, I've only got 3 Pokemon left, so something's got to happen here. Something magical is going to have to happen. So I'm going to bring in Timber here, and I know that I can probably live this kind of badly, and here comes the Super Power. I lived it actually a little bit better than what I thought, since I'm not running any defensive EVs. So I went for Drain Punch here. I knew that it was going to do monkeys. I thought, well, it's better than nothing, right? Now, the next Super Power is going to get pretty... It's easily going to take me out, So I thought, well, I can go for Mach Punch, and I can get another round of Toxics. That's a pretty good performance there. So popping that Mach Punch there, doing 3 damage on the Malamar. Here comes the next superpower. I think that's superpower number 4. And Timber is going to go down there, people. So it's going to go down. I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I've got Sphere. So I thought, wait, I've got a plan, right? This is going to be a really good plan. But I don't know if it's going to work. So this is my last turn of the Malamar. It's going to fade the Toxic next turn. So I thought, imagine if I get a Quick Claw and a Flinch on Waterfall. I got the Quick Claw. I was like, man, this could happen, right? So go for the Waterfall there, hitting that big old squid. I did 3 damage, but unfortunately, I got no Flinch there. That would have been incredible. Sphere is going to get dropped by another Superpower. So, man, this thing wiped out like, what, 3 of my team or something like that? So bye-bye Sphere. The saving grace here is going to be the Toxic that I did earlier on with the Igglybuff. If I didn't have that Toxic, I think I was done. I think I would have lost this Pokemon. Next Pokemon is going to be the Inkay, and my last Pokemon here is going to be, so it's not Timber, it's going to be 68 health, which is my Rowlet. So I thought, okay, well, I'll be able to outspeed this, right? It outspeeds me and goes for a Psychic. I was like, oh no. This doesn't really do a lot of damage, but it is a 2-hit KO. So go for Nasty Plot now. So getting that boost up there, special attack boost. Now it's like, I have to go for Dynamax here. We both have a Dynamax here, so I thought, okay, to live the Psychic, I absolutely have to go for Dynamax here. What I'll do is I'll actually go for Airstream instead, so I'll be able to outspeed that speedy Inkay, and then I believe I'll be able to hit the, survive the next move the Inkay does, and then I'll hit it with hard and fast with the Max Overgrowth. That was the plan anyway, right? So go for Max Airstream here, and I outspeed. I was like, okay, that's interesting, I outspeed. So is it a speed tie, you know what I mean? So hitting it with an Airstream, excellent damage. They didn't Dynamax either. I was like, what the heck's going on here? So Inkay, right, instead of a Dynamaxing, went for the Trick Room. I'm like, oh, I got counted so hard there. So it outsped me, but still set the Trick Room up. Now it's going to go for Dynamax Inkay. I was like, oh, here we go. So I was like, okay, I wonder if I should be able to take the Inkay out at this point, right? I can go for the Max Overgrowth. I won't be able to outspeed it, obviously, because now I've got a +1 in speed, and we've got the Inkay. You know what? It should have evolved there, right? When a Dynamax, it turned upside down. You know, it should have turned into a big old squid. So Inkay is going to go for a Max Mindstorm coming off the Psychic here. We've seen that earlier on. Rowlet is going to be able to live that one by the skin of its teeth. I don't know if you can see its teeth behind that little beak there. But now I can go for the Max Overgrowth. And this should be enough to take out the Inkay, because I did some really good damage to it before. And they didn't Dynamax for a couple of turns either. And that is going to be the end to take out the Inkay. And that, my friends, is the 3rd and final battle. Hope you really enjoyed the baby, or the overpowered baby health team. Next time, I think we might do... defense next time. That could be next week sometime. All right, people. Hope you enjoy this one. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.